Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are this morning's headlines. Home Ministry issues advisory to all states to step up vigil after intelligence inputs of possible terror attacks following surgical strikes. 250 terrorists active in Kashmir trying to target security forces. Pakistan Prime Minister voices support for Kashmir issue again, says mistake to equate freedom struggle with terrorism, issues instructions for strict action against those fabricating news about ISI and military. Industrial production contracts for second month in a row dips 0.7% in August due to slump in manufacturing and mining. And setback for Donald Trump. House Speaker Paul Ryan says he will no longer defend him. Trump says Ryan should not waste time fighting his own party's nominee. Well, a soldier was injured on Monday in a gunfight that erupted after a group of terrorists opened fire at security forces in Jammu and Kashmir's Pampore district. The gun battle has been underway all through the night as the operation is in progress to flush out the terrorists from a government building. The same building was attacked by terrorists earlier in February as well.
An intense gun battle is underway between security forces and terrorists inside a government building in Pampore district of Jammu and Kashmir. 2 to 3 terrorists are reportedly holed up inside the multi-storied Entrepreneurship Development Institute on the outskirts of Srinagar. Amid reports of a fire inside the building, an army soldier was injured. While there was no information about any hostages inside the building, the area was cordoned off and a search operation is underway.
सुबह जब नमाज का टाइम था ना उस आग जल रही थी मंजिल में फिर उस टाइम फायर किए हुए थे 2-3 सुना हमने बस उस टाइम से पीछे हालात खराब हो रहे फायरिंग चल रही है
गोलीबारी हो रही थी बिल्डिंग पे आग जल रही थी ऐसे ऐसे अभी फायरिंग हुआ अभी एक धमाका भी हुआ है अब देखेंगे पता नहीं कि अभी तक आर्मी भी यहाँ पे मौजूद है फौज भी यहाँ पे मौजूद है पुलिस भी
Taking serious note of the spike in recent encounters and infiltration bids by the terrorists, the Congress said terror activities have gone up after the surgical strikes along the line of control.
पिछले कुछ दिनों से और खास के जो लेटेस्ट सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की बात की गई है उसके बाद से इस तरह की घटनाएं और बढ़ी हैं सीज फायर का उल्लंघन बढ़ा है आतंकवादी गतिविधियां बढ़ी हैं तो सरकार को इसको सख्ती से निपटना चाहिए
These claims saying that we have done this and we have shown them and कभी हनुमान की बात कभी ये बात मतलब ये सब हो क्या रहा है I mean there is a serious issue involved about the sovereignty of our country and the army is doing its best and doing an admirable job in safeguarding that. So let us all salute that and just keep quiet, let them do their job.
Authorities clamped curfew in 11 police station areas of Srinagar as a precautionary measure in view of the 8th day of Muharram. Restrictions were also imposed to maintain law and order. Normal life was affected for the 94th day in the rest of the valley. The unrest has till now claimed 84 lives, including 2 policemen, and left thousands of others injured in clashes between protesters and security forces. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif continues to be vocal about his support to the Kashmir issue. Needling India again over the matter, Sharif has said that India will be mistaken if it equates the freedom struggle of Kashmiri people with terrorism. Sharif did not stop at that. He once again backed Hizbul militant Burhan Wani, calling him a pride of Kashmiri people. He said this during a meeting of his Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz's Central Working Party in Islamabad. Sharif said Kashmiris were fighting for their right of self-determination and Pakistan would continue to support them. Sharif also ordered authorities to take stern action against those responsible for publishing a fabricated story about the military and ISI in a leading daily. His direction came after the Pakistani army chief called on him to discuss national and regional security issues. Dawn, in a front-page article on October 6th, reported citing sources that the civilian government has informed the military leadership of a growing international isolation of Pakistan due to alleged support for militancy. The Pakistan Foreign Office had vehemently rejected the report and termed it as speculative. As tension with Pakistan continues following the surgical strikes on terror launch pads, the centre has asked all states to be extra vigilant. The countrywide advisory by the Home Ministry comes as intelligence inputs suggest attempts by terrorists and subversive elements to disrupt peace and ignite communal tension during the festive season. States have been asked to deploy additional forces in crowded places like markets, railway stations, bus terminuses and religious sites. The Home Ministry particularly told the police of major cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bengaluru and Hyderabad to be extra vigilant during the Dashera Puja, Durga Puja and Muharram festivities. Meanwhile, PTI is quoting top government sources as saying at least 250 terrorists belonging to 3 Pakistan-based terror groups were active in the Kashmir Valley. The intelligence input also says that the terrorists are trying to target security forces to avenge the surgical strikes. The input says that the terrorists belong to the Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Hizbul Mujahideen, and they have infiltrated before the surgical strikes on the intervening night of September 28th and 29th. The central government has asked security forces operating in Jammu and Kashmir to maintain maximum level of alertness. Well, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar on Monday gave a stinging reply to Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi's Dalali remark. Attacking Rahul Gandhi and his party, Defence Minister said that the government needs no certificate by political leaders about the bravery of defence personnel. He countered the Dalali remark by saying that those who focused on profiteering in defence deals fully understand the meaning of the word and that the BJP does not intend to use the army's valour for elections. Needling the Congress on various defence scams during his stint in power, he said when he took over as Defence Minister, he found Dalali in several deals.
थोड्यांक भितर दलाली दिसली हांव मंत्री जातकच हांवें लक्ष घालें चड घालून ना कित्याक चड घाली जाल्यार तातूंतच वेळ वतलो पण जितलें लक्ष घालें तातूंतल्यान म्हाका लक्षांत आयलें की सबमरीन जे डील जाल्ले 2006 तातूंत दलालीचो घोटाळो जाल्लो ज्या लोकांनी आयुष्यभर दलालीनूच लक्ष घाल्लेलें आसा तांकां दलाली शब्द म्हणजे कितें तें कळटा भारतीय जनता पक्षाच्या सरकाराक हे शब्द कळना आणि म्हणून आमकां भारतीय सेनेच्या शौर्याची खंयच निवडणुकीक आमकां वापर करपाची इच्छा ना.
Well, Home Minister Rajnath Singh has said in spite of all the efforts of the Narendra Modi-led government to improve relations with Pakistan, there has been no reciprocation from Islamabad. Speaking at a function of BJP workers in Lucknow, Singh said that there will be no compromise with the honour of the country. Referring to his recent visit to the border areas of Jaisalmer and Barmer in Rajasthan, Singh said that he has asked Jawans not to fire the first bullet. He, however, said that the security forces have been asked to give a befitting reply if provoked.
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री आज नरेंद्र भाई मोदी ने कितनी कोशिश शपथ लेते समय भी अपने सारे पड़ोसी देशों के राष्ट्राध्यक्षों को शपथ ग्रहण समारोह में आमंत्रित किया पहले दिन आमंत्रित किया उसके बाद भी पाकिस्तान भी क्या बराबर रिश्ते पाकिस्तान के साथ मजबूत करने की कोशिश की लेकिन जो कुछ भी हुआ है और जिस तरीके से हमारे जवानों पर कायराना हमला हुआ है आतंकवादियों के माध्यम से हमारे जवानों की जानें गई लेकिन बहनों भाइयों यकीन रखना आपने देख लिया है हमारी सरकार कमजोर सरकार नहीं है कलेजे वाली सरकार.
Well, the centre has rubbished media reports which claim the disability pension for armed forces has been reduced. The centre has said it has rather been significantly increased. In the case of 90% of the armed forces personnel as per the 7th Pay Commission recommendations, the increase in disability pension ranges from around 14% to 30% among the personnel below officer rank junior commissioned officers. Now, the government's clarification comes after the opposition Congress targeted the centre, quoting media reports. The centre called the article in the media dramatised and an attempt to create an impression by selective misquoting. PTI is quoting sources as saying that the government has accepted recommendations of the 7th Pay Commission to ensure increase in the disability pensions for the majority of the personnel.
वरिष्ठ अधिकारियों को जो सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक को हेड करते हैं, अगर उन्हें 100% डिसेबिलिटी हो जाए तो उनकी मासिक पेंशन 70,000 तक कम कर दी। जूनियर कमीशन्ड ऑफिसर्स की मासिक डिसेबिलिटी पेंशन 40,000 तक कम कर दी। क्या मोदी सरकार ने हमारे उन जाबाज सैनिकों को जिन्होंने देश की रक्षा की और पाकिस्तान में आतंकवाद के नासूर का खात्मा किया, क्या उन्हें ये तोहफा दिया है?
Well, here's a look at what else is making news across the country and nationwide. Yogendra Yadav-led Swaraj India on Tuesday filed an application with the Election Commission for registration as political party. Yogendra Yadav, however, said that they are yet to decide on participation in the upcoming elections in Delhi and outside. Expelled AAP leaders Yadav and Prashant Bhushan launched the political party on October 2nd, promising that the new outfit would act as a force of alternate politics and not resort to cult politics. The death toll of children due to Japanese encephalitis in Odisha has climbed to 42. The number of patients with Japanese encephalitis admitted to the district hospital in Malkangiri for treatment has touched 137. BJP General Secretary Burgu Buksipatra visited the area with 2 former ministers to assess the situation. They requested more central assistance. It is a historic day for RSS volunteers as they cast away their trademark attire for 90 years and don trousers today in Nagpur. The transformation in the RSS uniform comes into effect from today, that is Dasara Day, which is also the Sangh's foundation day. The RSS has also approved change in the colour to be worn by its volunteers, replacing the old khaki with dark brown. The traditional bamboo stick will, however, remain part of the uniform. In other news now, a speculation about Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha's poor health becomes rife. Her political adversaries and supporters alike have been visiting her at the hospital. Even though doctors treating her have said that she is responding to medication, calls for an interim Chief Minister to take over the reins of the state are also on the rise.
I am confident that she has a strong willpower and she is always a fighter. I am confident she will fight back and become normal and continue to serve the people of Tamil Nadu.
Union Minister M. Venkaiah Naidu describing Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalithaa as a fighter. The senior BJP leader visited the AIADMK Supremo on Sunday at the hospital where she is undergoing treatment. He also made a courtesy call on the governor on Monday morning amid speculation that Jaya would not be fit to return anytime soon.
We should not allow rumors or speculation to be spread. That's neither good in the interest of public nor in the interest of the persons who are hospitalized. That's why my earnest appeal and opinion to all is, please do not speculate.
I've had a very good briefing, conversation with Dr. Reddy himself. He spared very valuable time for me, and he said that Amma is under very good care, and he says she's progressing.
Since Jayalalithaa was admitted to the hospital, speculation about her health have been rife. The opposition DMK has even demanded that an interim chief minister or acting CM be named till the time Jayalalithaa returns.
This is a matter to be decided by that party. This is a matter to be decided by that party which has got majority. How can anybody from outside say you have deputy CM? There are ministers now. After chief minister, there are ministers. Ministers will be performing their responsibilities. When the Prime Minister goes out of the country, still we are all ministers.
Special prayers are meanwhile being held across the state for the CM's health. 68-year-old Jayalalithaa, who has a cult-like following in Tamil Nadu, was admitted to a hospital in Chennai on September 22nd after she complained of fever and dehydration. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, factory output for August this year was 0.7% lower as compared to the level in the same month in 2015. Mining and manufacturing sectors contracted while growth in electricity generation was negligible. Government figures showed that while mining and manufacturing sectors shrank by 5.6% and 0.3% respectively, electricity output grew at a paltry 0.1%. High negative contributors included the predictable insulated rubber cable, gems and jewellery, mineral index, sugar machinery and rice. Positive contributors included HR coil, stainless steel, telephone instruments including mobile phones and accessories, fruit pulp and room air conditioners. Meanwhile, the government's revenue collection in April to September, that is the first half of the current fiscal, saw indirect tax mop up growing at an impressive 26%, while that of direct tax came in at a tepid 9%. The total direct and indirect tax collections at the end of September stood at 7.35 lakh crore rupees, almost half the 16.26 lakh crore rupees target for 2016-17. The government is eyeing 12.64% growth in the direct tax at 8.47 lakh crore rupees for the current fiscal and 10.8% in the indirect tax at 7.79 lakh crore rupees. Direct tax mop-up touched the 3.27 lakh crore rupees mark as a result of robust collections in personal income tax, and indirect tax revenue stood at 4.08 lakh crore rupees during April to September, led by excise duty. The gross collection for corporate income tax grew at 9.54%, while under personal income tax it was 16.85% over the corresponding period last fiscal. Well, India is pitching for greater access into Chinese markets to arrest the burgeoning trade deficit. Commerce and Industry Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Monday underscored the need to find sustainable ways to address India-China trade imbalance. Sitharaman also raised the issue of trade imbalance with China's designate ambassador to India, Liu Zhaohui.
As Chinese President Xi Jinping appointed Liu Zhaohui as China's new ambassador to India, the government was quick to flag the issue of bloated trade deficit between the two countries. Commerce Minister Nirmala Sitharaman asserted that Indian exporters are exporting to China via Vietnam in order to bypass official restrictions in China.
Many of our exports are now being routed via Vietnam, which is not really the thing. If exports to China should happen, it should happen directly from India to China.
India has been unsuccessfully pushing for more access to the Chinese market for its goods, but the huge trade imbalance has only worsened over the years. India's trade deficit with China has surged to $44.7 billion during the period of April-January 2015-16. Exports from India to China stood at $7.56 billion during the April-January period, whereas imports have increased to $52.26 billion during the period.
Several IT companies who have established business in China, but whose operations are lagging behind schedule because permissions are not given easily, inspections are happening over and over again. Then Indian banks which are there trying to help Indian exporters are not given operational freedom.
The commerce ministries of both the countries have signed a 5-year development program for economic and trade cooperation in September 2014 to lay down a medium-term roadmap for promoting balanced and sustainable development of economic and trade relations. India needs to make continued efforts to increase the share of its exports to China in order to avert a piling up of trade deficit. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, China has once again indicated that it is not willing to extend any olive branch on core issues concerning India. Ahead of the BRICS summit starting in Goa this week, China seems unlikely to entertain Indian concerns and will treat this just as business without making any effort to break the ice. This comes close on the heels of China saying that it was still opposed to the UN ban on JEM chief Masood Azhar.
Membership of the Nuclear Supplies Group and terrorism will top the BRICS summit agenda this week. All eyes will be on whether China addresses these concerns. But going by pre-summit indications, Indian concerns are almost certain to hit the Chinese wall. On the question of proscribing Pathankot mastermind Masood Azhar in the UN, China is firmly backing Pakistan.
我的外长在今年联大期间就反恐问题专门达成了共识，中方希望也相信这次领导人在国阿的会晤能够在以往我们的这个共识基础上。
Experts say the ambiguous Chinese statement is aimed at playing to the gallery.
China is willing to extend the technical hold only to appease the Chinese, appease the Pakistani leadership at this point of time. Because that is one relationship that has flourished at all cost, at whatever be the other problems.
Beijing has also indicated its unwillingness to support India's bid for membership of the Nuclear Supplies Group or NSG, but it wants to keep the doors open for talks.
希望我们金砖国家呢，我们的合作呢更具包容性，加大与其他地区组织、其他地区国家之间的合作。特别重要的就是，我们希望这次金砖国家的这个会晤，能够以 G20 达成的一些重要的共识，中方提出这些方案，比如创新、发展这些重要的方案为指引。
Keeping up the pressure on the Indian leadership, Chinese President Xi Jinping will visit Dhaka and Cambodia before he reaches Goa on 15th October. India has been working on drawing Bangladesh and Cambodia close for last 2 years. Xi's visit to Dhaka, in fact, will be the first by any Chinese president in 30 years.
India is keeping calculated restraint on the issue of China before the BRICS summit. But it will be interesting to see whether Prime Minister Narendra Modi envisages BRICS as yet another economic bloc, or he wants political convergence on major issues plaguing India. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person Santosh in Delhi.
Well, Brent North Sea crude oil touched its highest price in a year and rose to $53.45 a barrel on Tuesday. The rise in the oil prices came after Russia said it will support a proposal by OPEC to freeze oil production in order to reverse this slump in global prices. The move lifted the price of oil, with Brent crude hitting a 52-week high. In late afternoon, Brent crude oil was trading up by 2.5% at $53.21 a barrel, just off the 53.73 rupees dollar hit earlier on Monday. Now, speaking at the World Energy Congress in Istanbul, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that oil prices had more than halved in 2 years due to surplus production, thus provoking a cycle of decreasing investment. He also expressed hope that OPEC members would confirm the decision to adopt quotas for output when the organization meets in November.
Ситуации считаем, что заморозка или даже сокращение добычи нефти является, пожалуй, единственно правильным решением для сохранения устойчивости всей мировой энергетики. Мы поддерживаем недавнюю инициативу ОПЕК по фиксации лимитов на добычу и рассчитываем, что на заседании ОПЕК в ноябре эта идея воплотится в конкретные договоренности.
The 2016 Nobel Prize in Economics has been awarded to UK-born Oliver Hart and Bengt Holmström of Finland. The pair won the prize from their work on contract theory, which laid an intellectual foundation for policies in areas such as bankruptcy legislation and political constitutions. Hart is an economics professor at Harvard University, while Holmström is a professor of economics and management at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. While Hart's work helped to understand which companies should merge and when institutions such as schools should be privately or publicly owned, Holmström's work helped how to formulate contracts for executives. They will receive 8 million Swedish kroners from the committee.
This prize is about contracts. And contracts is really a very fundamental phenomenon that I think... So this is very fundamental, and the theories that Hart and Holmström have developed are incredibly important for us to understand these types of contracts and institutions. This theory has really been incredibly important, not just for economics, but also for other social science.
Well, in a setback of sorts for Donald Trump, House Speaker Paul Ryan has told Republicans he will no longer defend Donald Trump. Ryan, dealing a blow to his own party's presidential nominee, said that he will instead use the next 29 days to focus on preserving his party's hold on the Congress. The move, highly unusual in US political history, laid bare the seemingly intractable divisions now seizing the Republican Party with a month left before the presidential vote. Support for Trump among the GOP establishment, already weak and amid disagreements over policy and tone, has now eroded to new lows. Clinton's lead over Trump widens in poll taken after lewd tape reaction to Ryan's decision, Donald Trump said on Twitter. Paul Ryan should spend more time on balancing the budget, jobs and illegal immigration and not waste his time on fighting Republican nominee.
I was getting beaten up for 72 hours on all the networks for inappropriate words from 12 years ago. Locker room talk, whatever you want to call it. But I said to myself, wait a minute. And I just saw very inappropriate words. But Bill Clinton sexually assaulted innocent women, and Hillary Clinton attacked those women viciously. One of them said, more viciously than he attacked them.
Well, on to some sports news now. India reached 18 for no loss in their second innings after bundling out New Zealand for 299 in the first essay on day 3 of the third and final cricket test in Indore. Star off-spinner R. Ashwin's bowling figures of 6 wickets decimated the Kiwi batting lineup as the visitors collapsed for 299 in their first innings in reply to India's 557 for 5 declared in the first innings. New Zealand opener Martin Guptill and Tom Latham gave the visitors a good start, but other than middle-order batsman James Neesham, others failed to chip in and failed to put up a good partnership, throwing their wickets to Ashwin and Jadeja. Virat Kohli, however, did not enforce the follow-on, and India were 18 for no loss at stumps, increasing their overall lead to 276 runs. Veteran opener Gautam Gambhir was retired hurt on 6 after sustaining a shoulder injury, going for a second run. India lead the 3-match series 2-0, having won the first 2 tests. Well, that's it on this edition of the Breakfast News. Have a good day.